Well, what happened was we noticed my stomach was red. At that stage, I just felt normal after a caesarean section, but because my stomach was red, we mentioned it to the nurse staff and nothing was done. And so I felt let down and disappointed by the hospital system. I just think the standard of care could have been a lot better. I don't think you can expect that to happen. Like, you just think, oh, I'm just going to have to navigate and learn to be a new mum. That's scary enough. I had 5 surgeries to save my life, so I don't remember anything until about the 3rd surgery. So my mum, my dad, my auntie, my cousin all had to take turns looking after Mason. My only bonding time was the first few days with him in hospital. I had a family tragedy in the past, and when Mason was born, he saved my life. Physically, I was very lucky to end up breastfeeding Mason. Because I was on antibiotics, like a drip through my bloodstream, I couldn't breastfeed. So I had to, every 3 or 4 hours, while I was still back in hospital in pain, I had to pump to keep my supply up. It was more of him being taken away from me, because my family brought him up to me every morning and would leave with him every night because it was too much work for the nurses to do, so he wasn't allowed to stay in hospital because he wasn't breastfed. My dad actually, one of his workmates had a case with Goudkamp. They just passed it along and said, you guys were good. I would definitely recommend Goudkamp. Just the extra mile they went. Mediation day, I was very nervous. I hadn't been away from my son for that long, and both Alicia and Sam were so accommodating. I remember by the end of the day, I wasn't shaking. I had a panic attack that day, but I didn't have any more. They made me feel comfortable so I could calm myself down. I never felt judged because I just felt accepted, and like Alicia understood, Sam understood, but then also when we needed to do our case stuff, she was on that too. If I didn't know what was going on, I just rang them and they told me. It was that simple. And I was very happy. I couldn't have asked for a better lawyer. So I was told my case is very complex, and I found that my lawyers, I think because it was so complex, they went that extra mile to explain everything to me, because there's a lot of ins and outs in my case and I literally understood none of it. I had to stand there and go over things with my lawyers, and they did. They did it multiple times just to make sure that I understood, and I did. And as I said, if I didn't understand anything of the legal process, they explained it to me. I just don't think that people should be afraid to come forward, and if they do, they might end up healing from it. Goudkamp did everything they possibly could for me, and now I'm on the road to healing and being a better mum for my son. I even said to Alicia when I was there, I said, I wish you lived closer. Like, we just got along like a house on fire, and I think because she was so personable and so easy to talk to, I felt like I didn't have to hold back. I didn't have to feel judged because she didn't make me feel like that in the first place. It's definitely going to make me stronger in the long run, because I want to show Mason how to be strong too. It's taken 2 to 2.5 years to I physically feel like I can keep up with him, and I did that for myself, and I think that's helped me a lot mentally. I've dropped 35 kilos. Yeah, I'm at my pre-pregnancy weight, so I think that's helped a lot mentally too. And when you focus on something on that instead of, like, my PTSD comes up a lot, so it's good to focus on something that keeps me distracted. I think I found my strength, and Mason obviously gave me all the strength that I didn't know I had. It was a nice feeling to know that I was supported and cared for in a time when I didn't know how this was going to go. I didn't have any experience obviously with it, and I hope that I never do. But because they were so accommodating and just so great and making me feel comfortable, like, it wasn't about the money for me. I wanted closure, and they helped me get that. So to anybody who feels like they need some closure, go for it.